Yeah. I was muted and then I forgot. But hello everybody. Welcome to my stream. What's up everybody? It's lit. Okay, sorry, I forgot about the audio. Let me know if the audio is okay, by the way. I toned down the audio. I think you guys couldn't hear me just now because of the audio blast. But yeah. Let me just check the audio real quick. Please let me know if the audios are okay. If yes, we can move on. Okay. All right, everything looks good. Okay. Hello, everybody. What's up, Komi? What's up, homie? My notifications worked in favor. Hell yeah, Tahir, welcome. Our one and only mod, welcome. Yuuning's early, of course. I would never be late for this thing. Something ain't right. I give Tahir full credits. It is time. Hello, Della. Boya, my ice cream is ready. Let's go with the ice cream. Jess, hello, welcome. Skits, gang, welcome. Hello, everybody. Sounds good. Great. Damn, Skits is awake. Exactly. Audio is okay on my side? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, everybody. Welcome to our second annual one-shot comic jam. That's right. Second. It has been a wild ride getting here. I have planned this comic project, this little event thingy for a month. And ever since then, people have been, 4 teams to be exact, have been working on their comic for a month for this event, okay? And what's gonna happen in this specific live stream? Let me tell you. Today, first of all, I'm gonna brief you guys on how this live stream is gonna go later. I got my little PowerPoint set up. And then afterwards, we're gonna go through the comics. We're gonna read through all the comics. I'm gonna give critiques to every comic I read on the spot. And then we will come into a member voting arena where I will also do some point calculation based on the comics I've read. And then we will do a winner announcement. And then, yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much the whole timeline of this live stream. I have to do all of it in 2 hours. Very intimidating, but I think we can do this, right? Give me props, guys. Give me props. We can do this, okay? Also, hi, Elias. Welcome. Ads this early be crazy. You guys might experience some ads. My bad. But just know if you got cut off or whatever, let me know. But otherwise, if the audio is not okay, also let me know. But yeah, let me just get into the briefing. Let me show you. Okay, last year we did a romance-centered comic jam, which was mainly about Valentine's Day, okay? It was a bit lovey-dovey. A lot of people had to deal like with the disgusting loving stuff, okay? But it was fun, it was great, and last year's Team B came out as the winner. And this year was an experimental year, okay? This time I let the God of Views do a random genre pick. And the God of Views has spoken with action plus comedy this year. So the comics this year, they have to make a comic based on either action or the comedy genre. One of the genres can overpower the other genre, which is whatever, you know, I'm pretty lenient, God merciful, I am, all right? Anyway, now that I've briefed you on what all the comics are gonna be about, I gave you all the stream timelines, like I said. I'm gonna talk about the teams, 15 minutes, that's how I aim for it, but you know, if I go over, it's fine. And then we're gonna do the member, YouTube vote, and then we're gonna do winner announcement, and then it's just the outro. That's the stream for today. We farming that revenue? Let's go, guys. You know we out here making bank on these live streams. I don't make much from them, but it's fun. It's fun to do things that don't necessarily make you money. It's fun. Anyway, like I said, this is our second This is our second comic jam, and it's a competitive one, y'all. It's always been since the last year, and only one team can come out as the winner out of the 4. There are no first place, second place, unfortunately. I'm just going to pick one winning team out of the 4 of them. And like I said, with the genre action comedy, the judging criteria, this one, I talked about this in the last stream where I briefed everyone on what this event was going to be about, but I will go through it again with you. We got the introduction and thumbnail for 10%, art for 25%, paneling, lettering, each 15%. So I will usually categorize them together for 30%. And then story is a whopping 30%. So guys, art is more important to, story is more important to me than art in this competition because we all kind of join the competition on different levels. So I don't want to be like, you know, if your art is, I can understand it, I can see it, and I know what they're doing, is good for me, y'all. At the end of the day, the story matters to me. It is a comic competition after all. I got a little bonus 5% marks for Discord joke memes. Basically, if you include anything about the Discord, you get a 5% bonus. And yeah, no yuuning memes because last year, people were abusing my avatar. So none of that shit no more, okay? I'll minus 5% off that shit if you do it. And the rules basically was that it had to be posted on Webtoon, no more than 35 panels, and the deadline is in 4 weeks, which they all did it, which is crazy, but yeah, they managed to do it, you know? Who are the judges? It's you guys and me, okay? You guys get a vote, you guys get a say. Basically, I will see based on your vote, and I'll pick the rightful winner as well. And yeah, think of it as like a popularity vote, right? Like prom king, prom queen situation. But yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much it for my briefing. Does anyone have any questions before I move on to the read-through? That reminds me, actually, I will need to share with you guys the link for the comic. Yes, sir, I have to do that. I forgot. Let me share you guys the link. Look at this page. Look at this Webtoon page I set up. Let me share you guys the link. Okay, I'll show you guys the link in approximately 1 minute, okay? Let me just look at chat real quick. How are we feeling? Are we comfortable? Is everything good? You watching me on 720p? Thank you, Boyana. Thank you for not watching me in 140. Thanks for the tip. Now I'm not staring at blurry yuuning. Thank you guys for watching me in higher resolution. I appreciate it. Only yuuning memes next year? No, thank you. She's salty because the comic was literally about her. That's not true, guys. Dictatorship, hell yeah, that's how we run this shit, bro. Yes, Stella, I still watch in 144p. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing you guys are watching it in 144, okay? I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say. But I still have, wow, I'm actually early on time actually, but otherwise, what do you guys think? Should we move on? Should we just get into it? Shall we go get into it? But okay, wait just a second. I'm looking at Discord. By the way, for those of you who want commentary, you know, feel free to join the Discord. We see if you are on the Discord. If you are not on the Discord, I have a Discord called Weekly Art Jams. I basically host events like this where we do like comic jams annually, or we do a bunch of other art theme stuff, okay? We do a lot there. So if you like to be a part of the community where we make comics or draw art together every Sunday and stuff like that, feel free to join with the link in the description. I have an invite link in the description, and yeah, you will get to talk to us, I guess. I don't know if that's like the best selling point, but making art is fun, right? Together. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the Webtoon link now on I'm gonna drop the Webtoon link now. I'm gonna pin the Webtoon link on YouTube. And yeah, for those of you who want to go check out the comics, you know, if you're the artist here, if you have a comic that you made and you're in the live stream now, go like the other people's comics too, you know, just we're all friends, you know. I know there's competition and stuff, but you know, leave a little comment, like, subscribe, you know, let them know what they did well and stuff like that, because you know, this is all part of it, right? Just knowing, you know, knowing how we did, giving positive validation, positive feedback, you know, it's great, it's good. So feel free to like the comments, but yeah, I think I could start with the reading. For those of you who have the link, you can read along with me, but yeah. I think we Gucci. I think we can start. It's gonna be lit, it's gonna be great. I'm excited. Are you excited? Team A, actually. We're gonna start with Team A. Now, I'm gonna switch my audio real quick. I have specific audios for specific teams. I do you guys justice with the audio at least. Okay. Yes. Now you guys may be experiencing some cowboy music going on, but it's lit, right? It's lit. Let me know if the audio is okay. I switched the music. We're now going into some cowboy music, okay? Now, I shall start with Team A, okay? Team A, you guys ready? All right, Team A. We got Hobbish, Chainsaw, and Skits on this team, Team A. The title of their comic is called Cooked, okay? In a kitchen where good and evil clashes, one dish will lead to tragic consequences. Now, I personally have seen the comic before when I uploaded it, and I cannot stress on that one dish in this one. But you know, based on the intro and the title, it's gonna be a chef showdown, right? I think even with the thumbnail, you can already see where it's going, but it's gonna be lit. Are you guys ready? We're gonna see the comic for the first time. Let's go. All right. Let me check the audio. It's all good. It's all great. Before I move on. All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, first of all, really beautiful first panel here. As you guys can see, we got a little devil cat in the suit cooking something sinister, and he's like laughing to himself. You got some fish sauce, got some onions cut, but yeah, he's cooking. He be cooking, okay? We see a leg coming in, and then he looks over to see Gordon Ramsay. Based on his name initials, he says in a British accent, "These people are sabotaging me, setting me up for failure. They want me to speak in this British accent, and I don't want to be clipped to hell for not being able to do it, so I'm gonna say it in a normal voice, okay? Step away from the stove, you fucking muppet." Okay, that is the extent of it, okay? He looks like God, right? He's got angel, he's like an angel, he got wings and shit. Devil Cat says, "You shouldn't have come back here. You have no power here." He trolls something, all right? And then Gordon Ramsay manages to slice that hand away, manages to defend himself. It's pretty cool pose here. "You may have bested me last time, but you'll never win this war, you anemic lambshank." Is that truly a word that he said in Hell's Kitchen? I will never know now. But so far it's really insane, you know? It's really fun. And then they come into like a clash, a little clang over here. They come into a very cool pose, clang here. Devil Cat, holding his knife, pounces on him, but Gordon Ramsay sees it. Gordon Ramsay flips something and just at the last moment manages to catch the knife before going into his eye socket, okay? This is pretty cool. And lo and behold, it's a spatula. So that's badass. And then Gordon Ramsay goes back in with the spatula and hits Devil Cat in the stomach. Like, it's a powerful hit, y'all. Like, this comic is just full of action and shit, for real. Gordon Ramsay goes Super Saiyan, okay? And, well, I thought Devil Cat died here, but he got a little Devil Soul coming out. But yeah, Gordon Ramsay became super buff here. I don't know if you guys are seeing this shit, okay? Gordon Ramsay just became super buff and shit. And then, yeah. Devil Cat, however, is not dead. He does a 180. This is a 180, right? Yeah, I guess this is a 180. He does a 180 jump and lands on his feet because cats always land on their feet. Oh, I got a comment for music being too loud. Let me just wind that down a bit. All right, let me continue. I got you now, you pathetic excuse for a furry. That's what he says, all right, in British accent. And then Devil Cat smiles and goes into manic laughing mode. I'm not gonna laugh like that. No, not for stream. What's so fucking funny? He says, you wrinkled old sack of shit. He says, I was stalling your dumbass all this time. And then he points to something that says override add chocolate. What does that even mean? I don't know. He says, you already lost. Lost. What do we lose? What do we lose? The button blinks and we finally come to Gordon Ramsay saying, no, F you, boya. There you go, everybody. This comic, this whole character fighting the orange cat name is Boya. So, for context, for new viewers joining, let me just explain real quick. Boya is a cat on our Discord server. Not actually a cat, but just a person who has a cat profile picture. That's it, all right? And apparently, they made a whole comic out of her because she's sinister or whatever. We cut to a girl. This is, by the way, for those of you, also another context is this is Boya's OC. This is what Boya draws herself to look like. Boya says, time to post this on Discord and win best chef. Da, da, da. We got a little fish, we got some rice. But first, she laughs sinisterly and adds chocolate sauce on it. Oh God, guys. There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, let me give another context on chocolate sauce fish. Boya is a very sinister Discord member that got food channel removed for a bit because she kept posting really bad food dishes. And one of her infamous dishes that she posted was chocolate sauce on fish, which apparently is a Filipino thing. I digress. I don't want to get into it. I don't know much about the Filipino cuisine, but apparently they use chocolate sauce on fish, okay? And then, let's move on real quick. Boya says, now time to post. And then we get a little zoom in on the Discord channel's food channel, right? The disgusting fish chocolate covered sauce. We got Chainsaw messaging why. Havish saying, I think I threw up a little. Skid saying, sigh, I need to hug my kangaroo. Render God saying, I play Sims. Basil saying, I like mint ice cream, I try it. And me, not me, saying, you are banned. And lo and behold, your account has been banned for life, never come back. And we see finally a sad little Boya in the corner with the little fish. And there you go. There you go, guys. Yeah, I can't begin to tell you how crazy when I first saw the comic. I was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, this is not real. They did not make, this group of people did not just make a whole comic based on this one Discord member, but against all odds, they did it, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much for this comic. I want to thank Chainsaw apparently was on the storyboard and effects, skits on character design and line art, and Habish on script and colors. What an amazing read, right? What an amazing start, for real, for real. And yeah, I think, yo, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to make a comic like that, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm not, I'm not creative enough for this. That's why I enjoyed it so much. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the comic? Let me know real quick. Let me check the chat. I think probably Boya is gonna be losing her shit. You know, Boya is definitely losing her shit because this whole goddamn comic is about you, Boya. Let me look at chat real quick. He did say that in Hell's Kitchen, Chains did research. Okay, good to know. Anemic lamb shank was proven, alright? Orange Cat 2 OP. Apparently Orange Cat is Boya's favorite. Furry Gordon. Furry Gordon before GTA 6, I agree. I'm with the orange. I smell slander and apparently it is you, Boya. Congratulations. You couldn't slander yuuning this time, for real. I'm too stunned to speak. Boya's losing her shit in the chat. If that's not what it looks like, then no, that is not a Filipino thing. You sure? Boya's really, really proud of this dish. All because I like champorado with dried fish. I rated Choco Fish out of 10. Get wrecked. Best furry comic. But thank you, I love it. I'm glad you love it, Boya. I thought it was an amazing comic based on you. Like, if you could choose a comic out of your life, it might as well be this one, right? It's what I'm saying, bruh. It's what I'm saying. Okay, now, listen. My audio is tweaking a bit. I was supposed to be playing a certain audio, but it wasn't playing, and then you skip to another audio. My bad. You might be hearing random cuts of the audio, but I'm gonna continue, all right? Let's go into the judging phase. Oh my god. Before I was gonna go into the judging phase, Sin hopped on the stream real quick and gifted 10 yuuning memberships. Wow, Eduardo Rose X Idol. Wow, X Idol got it again. Sean McFarlane. Snowy, Aiko, Tilly, Enver, Mats. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank you so much. Oh my god, I gotta put Sin back on the dono thing. Hells, yeah. Oh, thank you, my dude. I appreciate it. Again, let me commemorate you again with this little dono thing. I got a little, just a sec, guys, just a sec. Okay, well, it's not showing up. All right, there we go. This stream is now sponsored by Sin. Thank you very much. This is for you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I have to actually move on now, unfortunately, to the judging phase. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Now, let's talk about the thumbnail real quick, okay? Okay, I gotta actually switch back to this. So this is their thumbnail, all right? And honestly, A+ for an action thumbnail, comedy thumbnail. I think the colors are really eye-catching, you know? The poses and the composition and everything is just chef's kiss, to put it lightly. And yeah, honestly, I have nothing much to say for the thumbnail. I think it's just great overall. Now we're gonna move on to the art of the comic. We're gonna talk about, we're gonna give critiques now. This is my favorite part. All right, to be fair, I have to be really nitpicky with all of them now because, listen, after what you just saw, for the first time, I could not find much faults with the whole entire comic. So if I have to be nitpicky, you know, it's just part of business, okay? One of my nitpicks is this hand throwing thing. It just looks a little awkward when he's throwing his hand. I feel like if his body like moves a little more to throw it, and then, or it's just like you completely move the body and just do this throwing motion, right? You can do a little step one and a step two to throw. I think it would be better instead of just this little, like a little arm raise thing. Cause I mean, if you know, you know. I'm gonna move on. Otherwise, great action, great effect visuals, like all the motion lines and everything I thought were great. I mean, look at this scene, bro. It's definitely a chainsaw's touch. It felt like it's a chainsaw's touch. I have to be honest, also, is that action and comedy is not really my realm. I tend to make comics in drama and slice of life. So this is definitely not my department, but you know, this comic is exactly what I imagine an action comedy to look like. You know, it's funny, there's a lot of action scenes, and there's a lot of these, I think the paneling of the storyboard paneling is really nice. It's got like these near shots, and then you got like middle shots and far shots, background shots. Like this is everything that you're gonna need in an action comic and stuff, you know? But yeah, if I had to be nitpicky, number two, okay, just a little nitpicky, I saw that there was this panel. It was a great panel. It's just his head looks a tad, just a little tad big. It's just going off the proportions you've given them and whatnot. I know if they're supposed to look chibi and whatnot, but his head is humongously big in this panel. I would have just made it a bit smaller, and then, you know, I think the proportions would do really well. But otherwise, I really like this panel of him becoming buff. Like, he straight up stopped being a chibi in this panel. It's great, to be honest. It's really cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it I can say for the art. Honestly, I was really impressed with everything, considering they only had like a month to work on it. And let me see who did the art. I mean, they all kind of did the art. Skits was mainly the one that did the line art and stuff, and Hobbish in on it with the colors, and Chainsaw with the storyboard. All so great, so great. I like that you all helped with the art as well. That was very nice. Now, let's move on to story. This comic has very many layers. It's like a damn little onion. It has so many layers of jokes, but it's like all inside jokes of like Discord, right? Like, why is there suddenly a comic about a devil cat and Gordon Ramsay fighting? We don't know, we don't understand. But if you are a Discord member, you would know that Boya is kind of sinister, and we talk about Gordon Ramsay, I think, once during our Discord and stuff like that. So they decided to use them as the main characters. And, you know, Boya showing up at the very end is also a Discord thing. But I think as a standalone comic without all the context, it works. It just might be a bit confusing for newcomers who don't know all the inside jokes, okay? But for what it's worth, I love the Discord input for context at the very end. You showed that this is all based on the goddamn Discord. We got the food channel, and we got all these members on Discord just talking to each other and saying Boya sucks and stuff like that. Because, yeah, that is basically the premise of the comic, right? And I like that. I think reading it the first time, I think for a million years, I would have never thought that Boya is this cat in the suit. Like, y'all didn't see it coming. Boya didn't see it coming. None of us saw that shit coming, okay? It's insane. So props to you guys for putting that little plot twist at the end. I think they made Boya a man here, but otherwise, I think it's still great. I think Boya got the scare of her life. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for the story. I think, like I said, it's an inside joke comic, but as a standalone comic without context, I think it's still funny and great action, just all of it, you know? Lettering and paneling, I'm gonna talk about this criteria together. For paneling, I would say it's, you know, 10/10. I think out of all the comics I've seen, the paneling here is much more dynamic. You got like different types of cuts. You know, it's not all just square boxes. You got cuts of here and there, slices here and there, you know. It's definitely the most dynamic of all I've seen. And like I said, the near to far shots are really a nice touch. The SFX lettering, the pant, you know, the hee hee ha ha mwahaha type letterings are awesome as well. It's very over the top for some of them, but I think it's great. You know, I think over the top SFX lettering is something you need to do in an action comic because there's just a lot going on and you want to show how intense it is. So it's really, to be honest, really done well here. I honestly, 10/10 for me as well. Ka-ching, you know, just sounds like that, just sounds like that. If your comic is silent without any SFX for an action comic, you know there's something wrong. So this is what a typical action comic should have. Lots of sounds, lots of SFX. But yeah, I think overall, let's talk about the overall of it. Like I said, you got both genres nailed down pretty well. Action, comedy, you got it all here. And unfortunately, you only get a 5% Discord joke bonus here, but they really went the extra mile for like a non-existent 6%, but I can only cap it to you guys at 5% for that, okay? And overall, very solid fighting scenes. I think this is exactly kind of what I expect from an action comic, right? And well, props to Chainsaws for the great storyboarding as well. And I think it's just a great story for like an 8-minute read for like some funny action comedy scene with fucking Gordon Ramsay. And you even got to learn a bit about Filipino culture where they actually put chocolate on their fish. So I'd say it's very edutaining, as they call it. But yeah. Thanks again, Team A, for your wonderful comic. Did you guys like it? What did you guys think about it? Let me read chat real quick. I had a great time reading it, to be honest. And that's only our first comic. How crazy is that? Why did you make hot dog cereal? I'm looking at it right now on my computer. Furry Gordon Smash, thank you for giving me hair. Lol, surprise, it's chocolate fish. Lies, just would probably support. If Gordon Ramsay is a part of my conscience, then that means I have a Gordon Ramsay in me. Oh boy, yeah. He's so delulu. Thanks, guys. A win is a win. We love it. We love that our boy got to shine a little. And yeah. If there is nothing much else, I think I can move on. Let's move on to the next comic, shall we? Before I move on, let me change the audio real quick. I got a little audio for you guys. What's it? I gotta put on my cowboy music because y'all know from the thumbnail, y'all know what it's gonna be about. That's right. Based on the thumbnail, it's gonna be about cowboys next. Team B. Basil, Nico, Della, and Teltlo. Thank you for this wonderful comic. It's called Mismatched, everybody. Once upon a time, there was 2 sentient lizards, a warm-blooded robot, a robot, and a clown with a plush armadillo. Wait. Who wrote this? A bunch of outlaws have been assigned to rob a train. One thing happens after the other, and this very incompatible group of people are stuck together till death do them part. Of course, serving felony laws. Now, guys, ain't that the coolest intro ever? And yeah, based on the intro and the thumbnail, y'all know what is coming. That's right, we going have a little cowboy going. Let's go. Mismatch. You guys ready? You guys ready to get into it? Let's go. All right. This is the first panel. I got my little cowboy music on. Let me know if it's too loud or anything. But yeah. We see a desert canyon area, and then we see 2 lizards flying on top of the train. I think those are like jet packs or some shit, but I don't know, actually. This is it, little bro, one of them says. The score is ours. And ta-dam! We get a little intro of the lizard siblings, face card, cold-blooded carnivores, all right? I ain't little no more, quit calling me Lil, all right? I mean, come on, isn't that just the coolest character card you've ever seen? Anyway, moving on. Whatever, get to lasering, we ain't got all day. They're lasering the top of the train roof, and then we move on to a panel that says, tickets please. Thank you, sir. Have a pleasant trip. And I like these little characters in the background. This is, I think, Jess and Chainsaw and Skids from Discord. And then someone approaches the robot and says, excuse me, fellow robot, I think I'm just gonna call him Bucket, okay? BCKT, can I call him Bucket? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna call him Bucket. And the guy says, pardon. It is good to see so many robot brothers and sisters aboard this train. Well, yes, this is a robots-only locomotive, and then we see someone in the hood. I mean, it's a girl, let's be honest. We see a girl trying to reach for something. Please return to your seats. But wait, Bucket has a question for you. She almost loses it. Yes. Can Bucket have your number? My number? He says as he blushes and flirts. And then the girl finally manages to steal the card, and then, oh, there's a really cool shot, by the way. She looks back, she scans on something, bleeps, and who doggy, she says. Look at this. First of all, guys, let's marvel at this scene real quick. If you are on Discord, you know what half of these are, okay? You gotta know what half of these are. It's insane. You got Team C here, you got Pregnant Moana. For those of you who don't know, Pregnant Moana is also a Philippines thing where it was AI made movie trailer where they thought Moana was pregnant in the season 2. Okay, I digress. We got a little Shrek here, we got a little mint ice cream here, we got a cow, we got Shrimp Me here as the me, we got a little chicken from Team D, we got a little Zelda drawing from Boya, I got a little tarantula drawing from me, we got Peter Griffin statue here, we got my little drawing here, it's awesome, and also the Discord logo. There's so many nice little Easter eggs here, and honestly, I will very willingly give you my 5 marks. Take it. Take my 5 marks, take my bonus 5 marks, okay? I don't need it anymore. You won me with this scene. We really hit the jackpot today, she says. Score like this comes once in a lifetime. We get another character card, and her name is Victoria, the coolest cyborg outlaw, self-proclaimed, of course. And wow, right? Look at that, wow. And we move into a little transition to someone singing on the train tracks. We got a little clown and the armadillo. I can't say this. This is in French. I can't do French, but she says free jacks. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, okay? Well, cute little armadillo though. We transition, I think, back to the train scene, and then she looks back to say, well, look who decided to show up. What took you so long? He kept flirting. Bucket had to play along. Bucket, also known as the bot with the plot. Wick's partner in crime, Victoria's partner in crime, raised by humans and loves buttons. That's all you gotta know. Oh shit, she says, as the roof is getting destroyed. We see, who do you suppose that is? And it crash, it's the lizard gang, lizard siblings. Aw, hell, get out of here. We were here first, you scaly varmints. And then brother says, I've always wanted to try robot meat. Bucket is like, excuse me? Bucket does not have meat. Robo snack, tastes like chocolate. This scene is very fancy. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, if you know, you know. Dang nabbit, leave my partner alone, he's just a baby. And a delicious one at that, I tell you. We transition back to, I think, the clown. Are you ready, mon ami? She says, and with the button in her hand, she says, "Time for the fun part." And we get another character card called Emily. Ran away from the circus. Terrible luck. Loves explosive. There you go. Emily the clown. She puts TNT all over the train track and then kabooms. She destroys the train track. Boom, pop goes the weasel and the train falls to its demise. Sacre bleu, she says. I miscalculated the force of the explosion. Pardon moi. The lizard siblings managed to get out. They say, "We better skedaddle," while the other two held on to the girl lizard. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" she says. "We're hitching a ride." And boom, the train is demolished. "My precious score," Victoria screams. "This is all your fault. Go down there and fetch my goat, you slimy heathen." Heathen? Who do you think you are, bossing me around? We got a little, whoa, they're about to fight, y'all. They're about to fight. And then we cut back to Emily getting caught by the lizard brother. I think we found the real culprit here. And Bucket found a new button. "Put that down, you teen buffoon. That's incriminating evidence." And then whip. We got a little lasso whip. And they all got hogtied together. Okay? Darn it, what in tarnation? Okay? Bucket senses danger. And yeah, end of the line, bandits. It's time to face justice. And there you go, everybody. The sheriff, the final boss, manages to catch all of them, and they all got booked at the police station. And I think that is the finale. Yes, we finished the comic. Yes, this is the finale. We got a little nice title card, mismatch, finale. And what a ride, guys. What a ride, right? Team B, again, great job on the comic. Telt, Lo, Nico, Basil, Della. Thank you very much for the comic. That was great. That was such a great read. What do you guys think, though? What did you guys think? Was that not amazing? Tell me, guys. I had a great time reading a comic. Okay? And yeah. I think we can all agree the art is incredible, right? I think we can all agree that it's impeccable. And honestly, I don't know how you guys did it in a month, but it's crazy, y'all. Let me look at chat real quick, okay? Where do we start? Bro Lizard Smash by Boya. Wild Lizard West, love the panel, right? This is awesome. That's the zesty Basil robot we know. Let's go. Pregnant Moana and you forgot Shrek. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, Boya. Della is French. I didn't know that. Should have said tastes like mint. And Boya screamed Yuri. We're about to fight and they're about to flirt. No, Boya, calm down. It's beautiful. Who's the sheriff? We don't know. We don't know who's the sheriff. The final boss, apparently. Awesome stuff. It's crazy, right? What else? Best so far, paneling wise, art style. The color palettes are chef's kiss. Hear me out on that, bro. Lizard. Boya, you gotta calm down, Boya. Make more, please. I want to read. Lizard is life. Boya, I'm not French. I'm far from French. Thank you for the context, Stella. Great job, Team B. I agree. That was very fun to read. I had a lot of fun going through it. Now, I'm about to go into the judging phase, all right? We are gonna judge these cowboys down, okay? Let's talk about the thumbnail real quick. Now, this was their thumbnail, okay? First of all, great art. Like I say, I think we can all just agree the art is amazing. But I gotta be nitpicky. Like I said, all these comics are amazing. All the art are amazing, but I have to be nitpicky. I feel like there's a lot of characters in this thumbnail. I like that the money sign is the focus. That's great. It really tells you what it's about. But I feel like there's just way too many characters in one thumbnail. It feels a bit cluttered. maybe if you made Victoria, who I think is the main character in your comic, the only person in the thumbnail, maybe carrying the money bag or something like that, I think it will be better just for other people to be able to focus on the art and just deciding if they want to read your comic based on Victoria being the cowboy and the money bag. I think that just would have made much more sense.
Wow.
No, sorry, no eating. But yeah, otherwise great thumbnail, just nitpicky on the low focusing on the thumbnail. And let's move on to the art of the comic. Like I said, 10/10, honestly, I found no big issues about the art. I kept looking for any issues, but it's honestly quite perfect as it is. I wouldn't change a thing at all. And I mean, also just props to adding this little grainy effect in the comic. I don't know if you guys can see. There is some sort of grain effect going on in the backgrounds and stuff. I think it really adds a nice touch to this Old West vibes. It's great. I love it. And it's amazing how well rendered everything is, because you guys only had like a month, so really big props to the artists for going the extra mile with the rendering and shit. And the backgrounds, I know probably the backgrounds, I don't know if they use 3D assets, but it's all so great. Like it fits in well with the characters and the world building. And yeah, like I said, the treasure room was my favorite. I think it's just full of little details, and it's just such a good eye for detail, and the way you place these things are not awkward at all. If anything, you know, the people who spot it are gonna be like, what the fuck, what is pregnant Moana doing here, right? Like they would just lose their shit not knowing the context. But I love that, you know, it's our thing, it's our Discord thing. So yeah, great job on that. Now let's talk about the story. To be, again, nitpicky here, I think the story is great. It's really fun. But if I gotta be nitpicking, okay? As a pilot episode for this comic, I think it's really great as a pilot episode for an ongoing series of a bunch of outlaws, just, yeah, the whole premise of them being outlaws and just trying to like snag the best treasures and whatnot. It's a great, great pilot episode for a series. But as a standalone one-shot comic, I gotta say, maybe it felt a little bit anticlimactic towards the ending. I just wish we could have seen more of the sheriff. Maybe we could have seen at least a close-up shot of him grinning, you know? Because he only gets like one far shot panel and we don't really like, you know, get to see more of him. So that's why as like a standalone one-shot comic where it's like you're watching a 30-minute movie and then you cannot anticipate if there's like a sequel and whatnot. As a standalone comic, maybe the ending lacks a little bit. I'm just saying it just lacks a little bit. But again, as a pilot start-off episode for like new sequels and whatnot, it's awesome. It's great. People would definitely like to know more about the characters, the sheriff, and so on and so on. However, despite all that, I think you did a great job. Whoever did the whole world building and whatnot, I like that you guys just centered on this little desert and train. It's a very focused story, a focused place, and it's not confusing at all. And I like that most of the characters here, I think, are based on their OCs. I think it's based on the team's OC. I think the lizards are based on Nico, and Della is probably the clown, Bucket is probably Basil, and Victoria is Tout. I don't know, Tout. You can explain that one. But yeah, I like that most of the characters are based on their OCs. I think that's very creative. There was also, to be nitpicky, I was expecting a huge fighting scene. I don't know why. I just came into the comic reading everything and I was like, oh my god, there's gonna be a huge fighting scene between the lizard and Victoria and the gang and whatnot, and just maybe Emily in the background causing chaos and running away or whatever. But we never got to that fighting scene. They end up getting captured and stuff like that. Like, especially after this panel, right? How can you not anticipate a fighting scene? I'm sorry. I think I got the best of myself, but Like I said, I think I anticipated a fighting scene, but that never happened. So I was just a little tiny little bit disappointed. But overall, it's not a huge detriment to the story. I think it's just a setup for something that didn't happen that made me a little bit disappointed. And that's the most nitpicky I can be about the story, you know? But yeah, otherwise, let me talk about the lettering and paneling. Lettering 10/10 again. Honestly, I think this comic, probably out of all the comic, I think this one has the neatest font and the nicest speech bubbles. I like that everything is a bit minimalistic and it's just very super aesthetic looking. You know, it's like it looks so professional. Like even when the characters talk, like Bucket has his own little speech bubbles. I like that he got a little square bubble instead of the circle one, like all the other normal people. And I like that when Emily is singing to herself, you added like this little sound notes, like such nice detail touch. Very, very nice. I love it. And yeah, with the SFX, honestly, like I said, I can't really find a fault. I think they all look great. Like look at this crash font. These are so custom and nice. And even the character card fonts, I think is really cool. Like if you take a picture of this, it could be a whole drawing. Like you can post on Instagram as itself, for sure. With paneling, I thought it was more on the simpler side. Like you got just the basic square things, but not necessarily bad. Sometimes simple is great as well, as long as I can understand the comic and that I'm not confused. I thought it was great. My only nitpicky one, give me another nitpicky, is that there were these long white transition scenes between Amelie, I'll just call her Emily, between like, see, you got this Victoria character card, and then you got like this giant void of whiteness to transition to Emily. I think what I would have done here is I would transition a shot looking out of the train. Okay, just a nice little background transition shot looking out of the train. I think it would make it smoother. There is also this one scene that had a huge white void. Like after Emily, we see her singing, there's a huge white void, and then we go back to Victoria's scene. I think you can do another transition shot where it's maybe you're looking into the train window and you're seeing the characters there. Just little transition panels like this really matter in the story instead of just leaving it white, because sometimes when I see a huge white, I think, is my comic not loading? You know, I know you're trying to create space for the transition, but it's just better to add a small little panel, a little background panel if you can. But yeah, otherwise, great paneling as well. Not too detrimental to the story, just a little nitpicky stuff. And, you know, conclusion, I think this is definitely a great action comedy. I think you got both nailed down pretty well. It's, well, definitely a very well-made comic. I think we can all agree. And yeah, like I said, art is amazing. I think with the only points that I mentioned were like the stories and the panelings that I think you could improve on. But yeah, otherwise, what do you guys think, right? It's insane, right? Let me read the chat real quick. I'm excited to read chat. I thought, yeah, this was a banger. Let me see. Top tier comic, yes. I like all the Discord Easter eggs. Am I right? Art is so delicious. I even smashed the text. God, boy, you gotta get a hold of yourself. Love the textures, right? The little grainy effects really make it pop. Is it just me, or does use camera sometimes tweak? Is my camera tweaking? Okay, let me know if it tweaks again. My bad. It could be that my camera is not stable. Ew, mint ice cream, too bad, yuuning. Must have been the panel limit. Look at Team D's chicken, right? It's in the background here. For real, for real. Must have been the panel limit, I agree. These guys, everyone has a 35 panel limit, so maybe it's because of that they had to take out some transition shots, but I thought it's still a great comic regardless. If you guys want to repost your comic again as like its own little thing, adding the transition shots would definitely make it better. But yeah, otherwise, that's it for Team B. Amazing. Beautiful. Like I said, y'all really, I was really excited for the live stream because I thought everyone really put their hearts into it. Everyone really just put in a lot of effort. Like, I feel a bit embarrassed that I don't have a reward for everyone. Like, did everyone join this comic jam not really having a reward? Okay, I did not impose a reward system. Thus, I feel a little bad now because y'all tried really hard. But yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe we can have some rewards, right? What do you guys think, right? Okay. I'm going to move on now to Team C. Are we excited? Are we excited? Can we move on? Can we move on to Team C? Let me put on some music for Team C. I got a little special music for them for this one. Yes, for those of you who don't know, this is a Zelda theme music. I thought it fits the comic perfectly, okay? All right, Team C. We got Zach, Goff, Axley on Team C, and their comic is called Apocalypse in Judgment. Finally, it has happened. The zombie apocalypse has finally arrived. We've been preparing this for ages. Surely nothing will go wrong, right? We don't know. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the comic reading. Oh God, you guys are gonna love this one. Apocalypse in Judgment. Like, come on, that is such a nice little title, right? I love the title. I love how you play with the words and stuff. It's awesome. Now, the first scene is this nice little drawing, very colorful, very goth coloring style, okay? And we got a little suburban area. On live TV news, in recent news, zombie sighted, this man says. And in other news, there have been mysterious zombie sightings in the downtown area. Witnesses have described and then thunk a mug to cut off that dialogue. Finally, this is our moment, X. So we can conclude this character's name is X and this is MC. This is going to be awesome. And then comes in another character saying, hey, what's with all the noise? It's 6 a.m. for goodness sakes. You hear the doink, crash, bang. There's no time to sleep. Get down here to help us prepare. You can see Axe working on a little bat, nail bat in the background. What is it this time? Zombies sighted at the mall. It's the end of times, but we are not going out without a fight. So, like last time, the astronaut says. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. And the astronaut just sort of has this little thinking bubble, thinking back to AI takeover live news, the mug smashing again, them getting prepared to only come to the park with a little Roomba, but not even like with a knife or anything. Like, this shit is so funny. And then MC comes in with like, it's not like last time. They have video proof. And we're going to scope out the mall to find their weakness. X, prep the truck. Zach, do you want to do the weapons or the armor? Zach, the astronaut, is like, I think I'll take a nap. Wake me up when the world ends. Honestly, I can relate to Zach here the most. I'm Zach in this situation. MC is like, more for me. And they prep for everything. They even got a goddamn Tesla Cybertruck. And then look at that. They're all armed, ready to go. Let's do this. They arrive at the mall. Zach, wake up, look. And if you guys really zoom in on this, I think this is Boya, Della, Chainsaw, Skids, and I don't know who this is, but yeah, they're like little Discord characters in there. I think we should rush them, Zach says. And Tyre comes into a halt. And MC screams, charge. The zombies are like, huh? And we got this cool action panel where MC goes in for it and then whacks. What the hell? This wasn't in the script. Script? Zach says, cut, cut. Who the hell are these people? Screams the director, also known as Tahir. Get the hell off my set. And someone screams, oh my god, is that Della's arm? Someone call the police. By the way, I like that Tahir, even Tahir made it into the comic. For those of you who don't know, Tahir is a Discord member. But yeah. And then back to the car now. They try to run away from it. Is that Chainsaw's mouse? I think that's Chainsaw's mouse in the background. And they escape. They killed Jess. Get him. Why would they do such a thing? Does anyone have a spare kneecap? I can't feel my liver, and so on and so on. Finally, we get back to their house. And Zach says, I think we're criminals now. To be continued, guys. To be continued. Is that, guys, was that not fun? Was that not so fun to read? We got writer Zach on writing. We got storyboard and artist, which is Axe, also known as Acceptable Sleep. And we got line and color on Visito 4, also known as Goth. Incredible. Incredible. I had a lot of fun going through that comic. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of that comic? Was it not the best? Let me see. Let me look at chat real quick. Let me look at chat real quick. Oh my god, the color palette is so cute. I love the punny title. I agree. For reward, yuuning has to speak to the reading team in British accent. No. Delicious coloring from Gob as usual. Yes. Grumpy Zach? Zach is caked up? Where? Where, boya? Just zombie. I am zombie. True. Isn't this panel? Yes, I think this is just as a zombie here. Isn't that cool? Although I have been cute. Amazing comedy. Applause. Applause. 10/10 on the funny. Love the colorfulness as always. Wasn't that great? Y'all, that was so fun. I loved it. What did you guys think though? I mean, I can now also move on to the judging phase, if you guys don't mind. If we can, yep. I think I can just move on here. Oof. This is our third comic, by the way. For those of you who just joined, third comic, we are gonna start judging on the third comic now. Now, let's look at the thumbnail real quick. I think we can all agree that Goth has a really cool, cute coloring and art style and whatnot. And art-wise on the thumbnail, I think people will definitely love to click on this thumbnail because it's just so colorful and it's definitely gonna stand out. But a little nitpicky is that otherwise, with the three of them and the title, it doesn't really tell me what is it about. Maybe you can argue and say apocalypse is like, oh, it's gonna be about apocalypse. But what kind of apocalypse? You know, we don't know that. So my only suggestion for the thumbnail is to maybe just add a couple of zombies in the background, some blood in the background, just to make it more, you know, dystopian, more apocalyptic and stuff like that, rather than just a solid white background. You know, you can add this little arm, like those zombie arms with a skeleton in the background, and I think it would be great otherwise. At least it gives context to what these three OCs are gonna do. Okay, now let's talk about the art real quick. Art. Yes. Let me go back to the first panel here. Great first page visuals, first of all. Like this really wrote me in with it's a great showcase of your colors, okay? Although I'm not sure what the flowers here mean. Maybe it's just like a little aesthetic decision, but otherwise still great. I really like the expressions for everyone. I know you're going for like a little chibi style, and yeah, with chibi characters, you want to make it expressive, and I think you did a good job doing all of it. I think you made really great character representations to your OC. I know this person who was never named in the comic is actually Goth from Discord, And well, Zach is the astronaut, also based on his OC, and Axe is a moth, also based on Moth's OC. But yeah, just want to remind Goff that, just want to remind you all that Goff's name was never mentioned in this comic, so I could only refer to Goff as MC. Just a little note there. But otherwise, great representation. I always kind of imagine their OCs to act this way. I mean, I can relate to Zach the most here. You know, I'm like the chill, realistic one here. And I think the chemistry between the characters really balance out well, you know? And yeah, although this comic only has one action panel, okay? This one. Although it only has one action panel, I still think the setup for the action is really nice. Definitely they're going for more of a comedy than action genre. The setup for it all is still great, like them just prepping for the apocalypse and prepping the truck and everything. Sometimes with action comics, you can do a little bit of the fighting scenes, but the most important thing is setting up that fight to be super epic, like all the expectations for the fight and stuff like that. And I like that at the very end, the fight just becomes them killing random actors at the end of it all. So it's honestly amazing. And yeah, I thought great job on the setup and the action here. Story-wise, I thought the ending joke punchline ended really well. You guys definitely set up the comic storyboarder really well for the punchline to end at the very end. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't like heroes to criminal arc, right? I think it's just amazing how creative the concept is. And the little subtle Discord member mentions like Tahir and Jess being the zombies, and just, you know, everyone here, I will happily give you the 5% Discord marks here for the bonus. And even though it's like a simple story about 3 random OCs, I think they have really good chemistry, like I said. And I think as a continuous comic for this, it's just a great pilot setup for, you know, for more shenanigans between these 3. Maybe they go to different type of apocalypse. It's definitely a really good pilot episode, but as a standalone one-shot comic, it's also really funny. Like the punchline and the ending really, as a one-shot comic, was just there. As a funny 8-minute read, it's great. And yeah, that's pretty much it actually for the story aspect. I'll talk about the paneling and the lettering now. Lettering, for me, it was easy to read. I think I don't really see any problems with the lettering. I think, okay, nitpicky time, to be extremely nitpicky, I think maybe I wouldn't choose these fonts for like the bang and the crash and the spring. Maybe I would have gone with like a bold font. It's just these fonts kind of fade into, because they're so thin, I just feel like they fade into the background a little bit. I would have just chosen like a big bold font. I would even take out like the Spark chat speech bubbles, you know, and we can just do with bold SFX fonts, and I think it will look great. And also, actually the first time I read this comic, I got a little confused about this panel, because I know they're supposedly prepping in the background, but I wasn't really sure what they were doing. And then you got Zach kind of thinking here. I think I would have preferred for this transition, and just for less confusingness, is that the panel is just centered on Zach doing a thinking pose, doing the flashback, basically. You can even add a little flashback if you want. But just for context, like, I didn't know he was having a flashback. I just thought he was like, I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't understand it the first time, but if you centered it on him, you know, just take out the other characters in the backgrounds, just centered it on him doing the thinking pose, a flashback, then I think it would have made more sense for me in this panel. But yeah, otherwise, like the whole comic, like I said, they're definitely aiming for the comedy rather the action. And you know, they had nothing to lose and their aim was nice. They landed their punchline. And overall, like I said, it's also really just nice short comic, standalone one-shot comic, or a continuous series of comics for these characters. And who doesn't like colorful zombie apocalypse, right? I think you guys got a great idea here for like sequels and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe they will consider doing a spin-off. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of these comics here have great potential for spin-offs of their own series. But yeah. Otherwise, that's it. That's all I have for Team C. What do you guys think? Let me look at chat real quick as well. Let me just go to a panel that I like. Okay. Chat, what did we all think about that? None killed me, yes. I thought me and Goff were friends. Apparently not. Love the colorfulness as always. When he was sleeping on the couch, I see. Oh, when Zach is caked up on the couch, God, boy, yeah. Betray you, am I right? Taste of my own medicine for writing hours, but boy, yeah, for real. I'm suing for the damages to my beautiful arm. But amazing comic. They escaped the Roomba is so funny, right? Roomba is a paid actor. Tyra's new PFP? Maybe, right? I love this trio. Who doesn't? They're great. I think it's a great trio. You got the silent character, the Lulu character, and you got the realistic character. It's just great. Let's see. Let me add emotional damages to the lawsuit. Della got an axolot mutation. Della. Oh, I see. Also, hi Phil. Welcome to the stream. Can't get over how cute the art looks. Great job, Team C. Everybody is cooking tonight. Am I right, guys? And still, we're not on the final comic. Final comic coming up next, y'all. So exciting. After I go through the final comic, we will have a YouTube poll member votes for you guys. But yeah, if we're all Gucci, we can move on, I think, to the final comic. Now, I also have music for the final comic. Just a sec. Let me put up that final music. All right, let me know if the audio is too loud or anything, all right? Everyone's cooking for real tonight. Now, let's go through the final comic. Excitement is an understatement. We got Team D, final. Zil, Toya, and Val Arts for Team D, and their comic is called Wings. An enthusiastic chef and her pet chicken struggle to survive the zombie apocalypse, determined not to become the next Mew themselves. That's the introduction they have for the comic. Now, let's move on to the comic. I'm so excited for this one. Oops. All right, are we ready? Now, we first panel, we see a lot of girl and growls. We see this really epic abandoned city, and you got a little zombie skeleton sitting on the chimney. I don't know how he's balancing himself there, but this is a great first panel, and you got like a bunch of zombies here. They're all growling and growling. You see an arm reaching in the door, and someone shuts it off, but the arm falls down inside. We see a chef character. Who left the door open, she says. She's like super angry about it. All right, it was me, she says. So she's a bit delulu, okay? And then we see all these very pretty like drawn ingredients. You got a little avocado kissing here. I don't know what that's about. I concur, I do not know what that's about. But otherwise, we move on to her. I think she's dreaming here about the ingredients while she has a hand with a pot and a hand on a brain, okay? And we get a little introduction. Her name is Goldie Ramsey. We're a little nod to Team A as well with the little Gordon Ramsay furry character, the best and only cook on Earth. So she is the last chef on Earth, Goldie Ramsay. Do you think zombie brains have lots of nutrients in them? She thinks. And then, she drops something after she cooks the thing. She drops this little, well, slime thing. I don't know what that is. And then it scares a chicken. The chicken goes on and eats it, but it's like, the fuck, you know? Oh, wings, she says. Only you understand the value of good seasoning, she laughs. In this panel, and I don't know why this rat is so thick here, and you got a little zombie looking in, you got like a jar of ice, it's cute. What should we cook next, Wings? Goldie says. As the background becomes more severe, you got zombies trying to reach in, growling, and you, for whatever reason, you got a zombie in the tank, okay? Calm down, you guys, there's enough for everyone, she laughs. And then Wings, why are you on my ingredient box? She says. Now you're making me crave some chicken wings. So, well, look at her eyes. She's like looking at Wings. Wings is disappointed at her. And we get a couple of shots of a fried chicken transition to her saying, what am I thinking about? I could never eat you, Wings. So we know there's not gonna be death tonight, at least with Wings. I can't, that would be inhumane, she says. Now, the hand that was shut off from the beginning reaches for the door latch, clicks the door latch, and she says, I should have chopped that hand into little pieces. And lo and behold, the freaking zombies come rushing in, and then here you, context, you is my name. Watch the chicken. So the zombie in the tank from the beginning has always been me. So yeah, things are about to get dangerous. I would try to save us, but if I can't take wings and run, and then we go into this huge fighting scene, she's got like a fork on one of the zombies' eyes as she tries to reach for her frying pan, and then she smacks the shit out of the other zombie with another hand on a knife. She does a little 180, but there's just too many of them. Like, she's overwhelmed, and then, well, she goes insane. She goes sicko mode here. She says, I hate this so much. Well, the zombie hand gives us the middle finger. She screams, and Wings is flying. She says, Wings, you can fly? And she's about to get mobbed, okay? Fly away, my angel, she says. And don't let them catch you, as Wings tries to transition out through the window. Or else they will turn you into chicken nuggets. And there you guys go. That's it for Team D's comic. We got this insane looking title card, very pretty. And yeah, credits where credit is due. Sue, Val Arts, Toya, and even Boya actually. Boya, thank you very much. Boya was a little special guest in this comic. She helped a bit with the colorings. And yeah, wasn't that awesome, guys? Like, y'all, I would never in the million years, when I first saw the thumbnail and the title, I would never in a million years think of a comic like this. But it's so creative, y'all. Like, I would have never known. That's why I'm so, like, you know, it's so I'm happily surprised for sure. Let me look at the chat real quick. Let's see. The kissing avocados, I love the MC. It's yuuning zombie for real. Uh-oh, don't eat wings. I'm starting to think Wings doesn't survive for long, right? We all thought the chicken was gonna die, but ended up being the main character. I think that's a real nice plot twist. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, Wings dinner. Team D, great job. It ate, y'all. I agree. This comic ate, for real. Like, it's again, yeah, it's so creative. God, I think I never expected it. I think this was the most unexpected comic I've read out of all the entries. Maybe Team A came in with their little Gordon Ramsay shit, and I was like not expecting Boya at the end. But this one, I would have never expected how it turned out like this. So I was for real happily surprised. But yeah, if there is nothing else, I shall move on to the judging phase. Yeah, we shall move on to the judging phase. Let's go. Let's talk about the thumbnail. Let's talk about that one real quick. First of all, it's very cute. I think cute is an understatement. But yeah, I think your art style, whoever drew this, it's a very cute art style, and I think a lot of people are going to like it. But otherwise, I thought the comic, from the thumbnail I saw, because she's holding a chef's hat, and she's wearing this like chef thing, and got like a chicken in the background. I thought it was gonna be just about cooking, especially with the titles, with the title being Wings. I couldn't really see or tell what the comic was going to be about. And I think if you want the thumbnail to be more recognizable and to have more of people looking at it and understanding the concept, because the Wings concept is too vague, so people go to the thumbnail for a concept of a comic that they might be interested in. And I think if the thumbnail is just maybe the chef holding a frying pan, carrying a chicken, running away from a zombie hand or whatever, I think that would have been a better thumbnail. At least they'll be able to see the main characters and also the zombies in the background, so they can kind of understand, oh, there's gonna be zombies and stuff like that, okay? Now, art-wise, let's talk about art. Although this comic wasn't rendered, it's mostly just lines and flat colors. I really just like the little style you have with the line arts and stuff. Like this tank thing where I'm in it, I thought, like, as an illustration, it's really cute and whatnot. And even this like little scene where she's laughing. And also the dystopian city from the beginning, like, is this not cool, right? How cool is this with the style and everything? And the messiness of it all is really it's a nice style choice for this comic, because it's the zombie apocalypse. Like, it's chaotic, it's messy, you know? And now, let me nitpick a little bit about your fighting action, okay? This comic is definitely based more on comedy than action, but I like that you included this little action scene where, you know, she pokes the eye out and all that, you know? But I got a little confused at one of the panel. I wasn't understanding what was going on. I know it's super chaotic. Like, this is a long panel here where she's getting bitten, I think, but you got these long bodies that go nowhere and wings trying to fly away, and then you got like just her suddenly on the ground. I feel like if you chop this panel up, the transitions would make more sense. Maybe you ran out of panels, I don't know. But it's just from the transition here to here, maybe you can split it open, because I got really confused as to what was going on. But other than that, I can tell that she's getting mobbed for sure. But yeah, there's also this part where she is doing the 180 flip with like the pan and stuff. I think you could just separate it, just make it its own separate panel. I think it would look less awkward on the human, because when she's like doing this whole thing, the pose looks a little bit awkward. So if you separate this as her smashing a pot in one zombie's face and shivving the other zombie's face into two separate panels, I think it would look a lot better. And yeah, anatomy wise, I would just pick this panel real quick. There was a panel, yes, when she was cooking here. She was dreaming about all this food. I think that's the panel, the arm holding the pot lid is a bit awkward. Like, I think if I were to draw this, I think, yeah, I wouldn't have drawn it like that. I'm sorry, I can't really give you an example of how I would draw it, but it just looked a little awkward here, anatomy-wise. And yeah, but otherwise, great expressions. I think you did really well with like the food here. You know, it's really colorful, and then we get like all the little zombies that have like, these zombies look like they have their own personalities. You know, even though they're just NPCs. You know, you got this one just holding a freaking book. Okay, we don't know why. I like these little details in the zombies. Really gives the comic more life. Now, let's move on to the story. At first, when I read the comic for the first time, I wasn't sure how the beginning was gonna tie it back to the title. You know, I didn't know how the story was gonna go, but you guys managed to do it, and I love it. I love that it's all ties back to the chicken flying away, basically. And I think it's a really creative concept for the story. I think as a standalone comic, it works as well. We get a little introduction. Well, sadly, Goldie dies, but we get a little introduction of the chicken. But I can see this having a sequel, spin-off comic, where the chicken meets other people, other survivors in the zombie apocalypse. You know, how cool is that, right? Definitely chicken will have its own spin-off show. And yeah, I think for story, yep, I think that's pretty much it. I think for zombie apocalypse wise, it's a really good setup to a comic about a chicken and their life. Now, let's move on to lettering and paneling. Let me tell you, there is this one panel, like I said, this panel where she was dreaming about the food. I feel like if you add like a little cloud speech bubble, would have made more sense, because otherwise I think I got a little confused what she was having flashbacks, or is she dreaming and stuff like that. You know, a little pose of like dreaming, or if you just do like a half body shot pose of her holding a brain in one hand and her thinking about all the food that she can cook and stuff like that. I think it would have been suffice without the pots and stuff in the background. Just the focus being on the brain and her being the Lulu thinking about all the food. But yeah, otherwise there were a couple of SFX lettering missing. You know, you got this little SFX here like click and grr and growl from the zombies, but in the fighting scenes, I felt they were missing. Like, you know, you could easily add a sound for this, her holding something and smacking them, you know. Just a couple of SFX missing, but not too detrimental to the comic otherwise. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the lettering and paneling. And well, overall, I think you guys too did an amazing job. Like, for context, I guess, this team definitely went through a lot, okay? It's an understatement how much they went through. A few of their teammates, they had 4 people coming into the competition in their team, and a few of them ended up becoming inactive towards the end of the comic. And at the very end, also someone decided to resign from the team. So yeah, despite everything that happened, I thought you guys still managed to finish a solid comic. I think that is not easy. And I'm very proud of you guys for sticking true to the end. Like, this shit is not easy, especially when everything feels hopeless when everybody leaves, right? But you guys made it work to the end. And yeah, props to you guys for sure. Taking that into consideration, yeah, it's a great short comic, and I'm sure if they had more time and have more help, I'm sure they would have made this a really, really insane comic. But otherwise, also thank you to Boya again for stepping in last minute to help with some coloring when everything seems like he was going to hell. But I appreciate it, you know, I appreciate the help. And that's about it. That's about it for this comic, for Team D. If I didn't give you guys the context of them with, you know, the teammates becoming inactive and resigning and stuff, you guys would have never known, right? As a standalone comic by itself, it's still a great comic regardless of everything that happened. So I say this is one of the highlights of this comic, is that despite everything, you wouldn't have been able to tell if I had never said anything, okay? So yeah, that's about it, y'all. That was all the comics. Ain't that wild? Now, let me transition my music real quick. We're about to go into our member voting phase. This is after me going through all the comics and you telling me which comic you like the most. Like I said, in this competition that I have made, there are no first place, second place, okay? There can only be one winner and the rest just don't win. That's it. So I'm excited for this phase. Let me just look at chat real quick before I move on to this phase. For those of you who are on Discord, don't forget to come to YouTube to give a little vote, give a little help to the comics. Good job, everyone. I enjoyed every bit. The eyes kind of spooked me. The fork in the eye made me cringe in a good way, right? Also, can I share everyone's webtoon online? Of course. Also, new at PFP, yes. Ustream art style so cute, color palette too, right? Some action lines would have made it more clear, but I know they were pressed for time and overall it looks good. I agree. Some action lines, motion lines would have definitely made it better too. And Basil, thank you with the super as well. Yo, Judge, I think Team B deserves a little boost. You got it, bro. Let me add you to my dono. Thank you for the super. If you guys super me, I'll add you on the stream. How about that? Look at that. Thank you, Basil, once again. Team B meets Boost. I think they're gonna be good. They're gonna be fine. Bro is late, SMH. Basil trying to bribe for real. Just trying to be friendly. Team D's color palette is so nice too. It's very cohesive, but still colorful. I agree. I love the flow of the panels and Wings is a survivor. Let's go. Man, congratulations to Team D. They pulled through. Bribing time, guys. I accept bribes, everyone. I'll pay you, boy. Yo, don't bribe Boya. Boya is the only neutral person in this Discord group. And maybe Phil. You guys can bribe Phil and Boya. They're not joining and stuff. But yeah. You guys ready? I'm gonna go into it now. I am now gonna start doing the member vote. Who will win our member votes? Let's go. This is a toughie one, okay? Because most likely everyone's gonna vote for their own team. But for those who didn't join, they will probably make or break the score. But also, if you are from a specific team, but you really, really enjoyed the other team's comic, you know, feel free to also vote for them if you have a freaking alt account, okay? But otherwise, I said nothing. I said nothing. Ooh, my keyboard. While I typed out the member votes, yeah, keep who you're gonna vote for in your mind. And also, I will be doing a little bit of point calculation on my part, okay? While I wait for you guys to vote. Was that not fun, guys? Was that not the most fun you had all year? I did. If not, that's okay. We will have more events like this to come, okay? Alright, guys. Y'all ready? Okay, let me look at chat one last time. I'll pay you not to eat fish with chocolate sauce, Boya. I'll bribe you with Lizard Man fan art, Boya. That's tempting. Boya will deliver exclusive behind the scenes art of Lowell. I think Lowell is the Lizard Man. Whoever didn't vote me best chef will not be getting any votes. That is crazy, Boya. Boya ain't never had this much freaking power, y'all. Boya is like livid with that power. She's like, God, bro. It's not good to give Boya that much power, but unfortunately, different circumstances right now. All right, Let's go, guys. Let's start voting. Let's go. I'm excited, y'all. I am excited. Like, okay, I'm not gonna let you guys see the votes for now, but you guys have, I guess I can give you guys 5 minutes to vote. You guys can do it in 5 minutes, right? During this time, I'm gonna be thinking about the comics that I like, all right? Let's see, let's see. Keep voting, guys, keep voting. Actually, let me mute myself for a bit while I contemplate, but you guys can listen to the music, and I'll be back in a bit. I went to check on Discord a little bit. That is crazy. So much is happening on Discord. Y'all, like I said, another shout out real quick. I host events like this every year. And yeah, if you would like to join us for more events like this, feel free to join our Discord. Link is in the description. We're called Weekly Art Jam. And yeah, like I said, you get these nice little comic jam, and sometimes it's just nice to work with other artists, right? Like, you don't know how people work, like you don't know how people manage their projects and stuff like that, how people manage their arts and stuff like that. I think it's great for, I mean, on my part, why I host events like this is because I'm also interested to see how people work together, you know, as a team like that. Definitely, just like all group projects, there are a lot of challenges working as a team, but you know what? If you can go get through all these challenges and come out with like a solid comic, you know, isn't that like the best feeling and like a big accomplishment? I mean, I would say so, at least. I would say so. And I hope everyone that joined had a good time. Also, Sin, why can't I choose all too good? I agree. Why can't we all be winners, right? But no, I gotta feel that toxic competitiveness in these mofos, okay? These Discord members are freaking spoiled. We gotta humble them once in a while. So that's why I do these little competitions to humble them, because last year the one team that won kept bragging. I mean, granted, they have bragging rights from winning, but you know, now there's a new year of winners, and hopefully when they overtake last year's team can chill out from the bragging and stuff. But yeah, it's great, y'all. It's great. All right. We have 1 minute left to vote. 1 minute, y'all. It's intense now. It's intense now. But also, I forgot to say, Sin, thank you again for the 5. I appreciate it. Give me a sec. I'm watching ads. I'm sorry. Oh, God. All right. I'm waiting for you, Boya. Come back. Boya, I'm telling you, we got exclusive art. Y'all keep trying to bribe Boya. That's not cool. That's not cool. We got Phil too. You guys can go bribe Phil too. Hee hee. Y'all. 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute to go. What did we all choose? 1 minute, 1 minute. Has everyone voted? Is everyone ready? I mean, this means nothing, to be honest. Y'all get 40% vote. I still get the 60% deciding mark. And I did a little counting, and I have a team in mind. I'm ready. I haven't seen the voting results. Maybe they'll sway my results, we don't know. I do member voting in case I get conflicted between, you know, in case I get conflicted between two comics, you know, and based on the member votes, I'll be able to decide on the winning team better. But otherwise, I'm gonna end the poll real quick, and let's see who we got. Let's go. Team B, mismatch with 40% of the votes. Congrats. Out of 20 votes, mismatch got a whopping 40% votes. And congratulations, guys. You are the fan favorite. Everybody loves you. Congrats. And yeah, based on the voting results, I think I can now move on to the winner announcement. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? You guys are not ready, y'all. You guys are not ready for the winners, y'all. But I'm gonna move on to it either way. All right. It's lit, y'all. It's lit. Who will win 2025 Comic Jam? One-shot Comic Jam. Who the fuck is gonna win? All right. Now, guys, quiet. I need peace. All right. I'm gonna pull up the audio for our drum roll, sacred drum roll. Only on my streams, you get to hear the sacred drum roll because I guess I announce the winners all the time on this drum roll. But yeah, are we ready? Guys, let the drum roll begin. Guys, the winner for the 2025 Comic Jam One Shot is Team B. Congratulations, Team B. Congratulations for winning 2025 Comic Jam. Congrats, you guys. Not only were you the fan favorite, but also, well, based on my conflicted comics, well, also based on the fan favorites, I have decided to choose you guys as the winner. And good job, Team B, on winning 2025 Comic Jam, y'all. It was not easy, okay? It was not easy choosing the winners because, like, you guys went through it with me, right? That was not easy to go through. Like, everybody did so well, but you know, at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. And Team B, congratulations to the team members on Team B. Who do we got? We got Basil, okay? We got Nico, we got Della, we got Tablo. Money Heist mismatch comic is super, is great. I think yeah, if you guys don't continue this comic, it's a bit of a shame now, I feel. Are we gonna get a sequel now that you guys won, you know? Are we gonna get anything new and stuff like that? I just think it will be such a missed opportunity if you guys don't continue this comic because you left me wanting more, you know, at the end of the day. And I like that about your comic. Like, I'm like, let's go, next episode when, you know? But yeah, congratulations. What do you guys think? Oops, apparently my chat crashed. Well, that has never happened before. That's crazy, y'all. My chat crashed. Just a sec. Let me fix chat real quick. Okay. Rude. I think the excitement was so much that chat freaking crashed. But either way, Chainsaw thinks it's rigged. And Boya says, I'm not weak, I'm strong. And congrats Team B from Jess, excellent work. Tahir says, congrats Team B, and such a great comic. Everyone, I agree. Despite only having one winners, I think you guys are all winners for finishing the damn comic in 1 month. Like, this shit is not easy, bro. And working together as a group has its challenges. So I think props to you guys for even being able to finish it so quick, you know? But yeah, for the one winner team, you guys now have bragging rights. And that one, I mean, the others are fine. It's just that one guy on Team B, Basil. Giving him bragging rights is like giving Satan bragging rights. So I don't know how that's gonna go. You guys will have to suffer the wrath of Basil on Discord for a bit. Yes. But yeah. Della won 2 years in a row. That's true. Congrats, Della. Homecoming winner. Let's go. Basil is so salty. I want to uncongratulate him. Della, right? I'm joking. I want to see all of them continue and more of the you in the jar too. I agree. I think it's so amazing. We all just want more now from you guys, from the comics. And you really set yourself up really high. If I were to host this again next year, coming in with expectations now that I see that what you guys can do, you know? Basil is like, take that L. Nah, I don't take fake L's. Giving Basil bragging rights is dangerous. For real, for real. Della MVP, I agree. Y'all, they're all MVPs. All MVPs. It's amazing, right? Discord is going wild too. Discord is like, Basil this when. And Della loves everybody. And Della wants to jump off a roof. Basil is like, my hard work paid off. And yeah, everyone's just happy about winning. But you guys deserve it. You guys did really good. Congrats. And yeah, that's about it. Is about it with One Shot Comic Jam 2025. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm very dehydrated and I am very, very tired. But I'm really glad we made it to the end. My PC didn't overheat, my phone didn't overheat, and chat is going wild. And this is exactly, I mean, I will say this first. Last year was a bit more low-key because it was my first time hosting this. And I was like thinking, wow, we got an additional team joining this year. Last year we had 3 teams, but this year we had 4 teams. I felt, well, yeah, I should, you know, I told myself I need to up the stakes this time because more people are joining. And well, I just hope you enjoyed the stream and I hope you enjoyed the hype for it all. We actually planned this all together on Discord for a whole month. You know, I would check back in with them every weekend on Sunday because we do art jams weekly, and I check back in with them every Sunday. We would talk about their progress, their concept art and stuff like that. Like, let me show you guys their concept art from the very beginning here. Like, this is Team A's concept art. We didn't even know it was freaking Gordon Ramsay here, you know. They had to blur out the concept art for Gordon Ramsay because, well, the little initials there, you would have been able to see it, right? And yeah, this was their initial concept art for Team A. And this was Team B's initial concept art. We get a little concept sketch of Emily and the little designs of the characters. You got the little lizard looking goofy AF here. And you got Victoria going off on a totally different character color palette here as well. It's crazy, y'all. And yeah, just the little concept art sketches, I think really shows you how much effort they put in Team C also with their concept art. They only gave me these two, okay? They only gave me the concept design for their character and this little panel here. And yeah, you can already see all of it. And Team D here with the chef design, supposedly blonde, but later on became pink hair. And wings supposedly, well, as a chicken should be. And you get a little line art, and you get like all this interesting zombie apocalypse people design, just like little random character design, because you know they all never ended up in the comic, but that's the fun part about concept design, is so many potentials, right? But yeah, look how far they've come. Look how far they've come. Oh my god, that is true. I just looked at Discord. Last year Team B won, and this year Team B won again. I actually don't know what to say to that. That was uncalled for. I did not see that coming. Maybe being on Team B is a golden ticket opportunity, right? Now that I think about it. But listen, everyone was was chosen in the team based on me spinning the wheel. Everyone was chosen random. And the read-through of all the comics, like sequences, was based on, you know, Team A, Team B, Team C, and Team D. So whoever was Team A first, I would read their comic first. So it was all super random, okay? So I did not rig this. This was not rigged, okay, y'all? I repeat, not rigged. They just happened to all be in Team B, and Team B happened to win again. At least next year you guys can look forward to being in Team B instead, right? Ain't that it? Ain't that the fun? But yeah. Otherwise, I think that's it for my stream. I think I'm gonna do a quick after party with Discord. I mean, whoever is left on VC anyway, I'm gonna do a quick after party with them. And it's great, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys. Let me go through chat one last time. Yuuning was against me from the start. Della is the secret ingredient. Right, Nico saved us. The real L is Basil buying Suicide Squad twice. This joke needs to die. Second year in a row, fan favorite. Can I snoop team private chat? Make it public. I don't know about that. I'll talk about it with you guys on the Discord after party. But otherwise, for those of you on YouTube, I will see you guys on my next stream. And I hope you had a great time watching. Goodbye. Bye-bye.